listeners. This is Carrie.
And this is Shira.
And welcome to Love Always Self. Thank you so much for being with us in this moment. Today, we kind of wanted to connect with our playful side where we're so used to every day being serious and like got to get these things done and work and work and work and then
And
home
work.
life and work and just all the structured activities that fill our day to day. So we decided that today we need to focus on play.
Yay! And now I'm even being playful with my hair today. I've got
It's
this
super cute.
like curls, my natural curls going on. Decided to put it up to, well, as much as I could at the top of my head. But yeah, I was like, let's do play.
I love it. And that was actually from one of your pieces of homework from your coach. So that's really awesome that we are integrating that into our conversation today. So, as adults, it's not like the priority to continue to be playful, or not just be playful, but to incorporate play into our day-to-day lifestyle. But, as children, as part of their development, like that is one of the strongest things that's encouraged for, young children to do is to play. So, first off, like, why is it important, that they play? But so it actually helps them to develop cognitive skills, physical, social, and emotional skills. It helps with fostering creativity and imagination. And it's even considered a birthright to some to actually incorporate play into, their education. So this helps children to determine, or not just to develop their unique potentials. So I think that that's really a beautiful way to look at play. But why is it that it's not encouraged to continue to do that throughout your life?
Oh my gosh. And neither encouragement to do that throughout your life, but even when you were in school as a kid, you would have recess. And during that recess time, your main activity was to go into a playground and play with your friends, or attempt to play with your friends, or do some form of play. So even like in the midst of learning, it was always encouraged to play, or even while you're learning, you did something in a playful manner to learn.
And I think that's great that you mentioned that, because I always felt like I learned better when it was like a story or an activity, a game, like it rather than just memorizing dates or events. It was more fun to incorporate it into that playful aspect of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, could
mm-hmm.
you imagine like if everything, like say like you got a new job, or and the way that you got that new job was you learned all of your new job requirements based on some kind of playful game or activity. Like how dope would that be? Like that would be
Right.
amazing.
That actually that reminds me of when I started working for the company that I'm with now 6 years ago. One of the things that they did was do like leadership games. So we went to a place somewhere in like Marble Falls outside of Austin, where it was like a obstacle course, but you had to work together as a team to support each other through the obstacle course, like walking on like a tightrope high in the air, right? You have a harness, you're trusting your teammates to, support you. You're attached to their harness, and they've got the rope that's attached to your harness. So they're helping you, and they will catch you if you fall. So
Whoa.
yeah, it was a really cool thing to be able to do as an adult and create those bonds, those connections, that fostering of teamwork and team building. And okay, we're met with this obstacle, so what are we going to do to get around it? How do we support each other? Who's going to do what? And working on that communication,
And
not
trust.
just and trust, not just talking about like next steps, but also talking about, okay, like, oh, I'm too afraid to do that. And then it's like, no, you got this, we're here for you. And so it's really an awesome thing to be able to build that kind of bond and that teamwork and that communication style all through play.
Oh, that's fun.
I totally
Wow.
forgot about that. Yeah.
That's actually really fun. I'm trying to remember. There's been so many different things that have been incorporated in my career path that involved play. I remember one company I worked for where we actually went and did like this. It's kind of like a summit, but it was at this like it was called T Bar M Ranch, and we all stayed in these different cabins on this property, and we played all these different games. We had to build a pyramid out of balloons. That was so cool. I was like, I got this. And our team ended up winning. And another thing that I remember about that is that nothing you did in any of those team building assignments was based on any form of merit. Like you didn't
Mm-hmm.
win any specific prizes. They didn't want to like reward those that did better than others. It was all
Mm-hmm.
about just incorporating the fun aspect and the learning aspect of each other,
Yeah.
and how to work together. So I liked that. I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to be in a scenario where I have to like be the best and win an award, like
Yeah. Yeah.
'cause
And that's one of the cool things about play, with children, right? Is this allows them to create and explore and conquer fears while practicing like being in these roles in conjunction with other kids to, help support each other.
yeah.
And I feel like there's so much of that missing as we, age into adulthood, so to speak, or, currently in this world, like there's so much disconnect, and it's not about like building bonds and how do we support each other to make this life the best one we can live. It's more about, well, I'm right and you're wrong. It's black versus white. It's one versus zero. It's very binary. And I think it's time to encourage each other to get out there and play.
I agree 100%. So let's talk about some of the ways that as, non-children we can be,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
we can incorporate play in our everyday lives. Some people could be in like a situation where, play might come a little harder
mm-hmm,
than
mm-hmm,
others.
mm-hmm.
Or they feel that the only times that they can play is if they have to spend money to do that. And especially with times being hard out there, sometimes it can be feel restrictive
Yeah.
to try and be playful, or you simply just forget that we can do these things. We can be playful even as adults, and it's okay to do that.
We forget how to imagine and create without structure.
Right. Ooh, structure.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, structure. And structure is something that was presented to us as children, right? So I
Mm-hmm,
mean, can
mm-hmm.
you touch on that one a little bit more, like what you've learned about that?
As far as the children, what we're taught as children is how to live within the pattern of society, and I'm sure that there's differing opinions on who this benefits, but we're not going to go into that. We're just talking about us on an individual basis. But the schooling can teach us not to question authority. We just follow along and get in line, and here's the rules, don't you break them. And so that causes a restriction in our opportunity to imagine and create and try new things, because we're set on this trajectory to, okay, you have to finish elementary school, then middle school, then high school, then college, and then you get a job, and then you work, and then you retire, and then you die. And it's just like, is there that is there no room for something else.
And then maybe 2 weeks out of the entire year, we're going to give you some time back to play.
That's way out of balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, as adults, I think it's important to recognize how play can benefit us. Not only is it pulling us out of this state of reaction, this state of judgment. It'll help us pull out of stress. So it relieves stress, it improves brain function, it stimulates our creativity and, coming up with new ideas and inventions. It improves relationships and our connectivity to others. So it fosters more bonding and growth together. And it keeps you feeling young and energetic, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
like connecting with that inner child,
Yeah.
that's a part of your spirit, your spiritual self. So keeping that connection is so important for healing and growth, and even resisting the top patterns in this life. So it also helps to create social skills, which I think have been kind of waning over this past year and a half. Not being able to socialize in our normal, quote unquote normal um, things that we used to do prior to this last year and a half. So I think our socializing can absolutely use some growth and improvement. And I think it's something we should do more frequently.
I was just talking about this, not only with you in the last, week or so, but again, we have a coach. I have a coach as well, that helps us grow and personally develop. And play was one of those things that I think my coach intuitively just knew. You brilliant woman, you and Ambrosia Matthews and Alexa Jade, I freaking love them. And when we were talking about that, I can tell that she kind of, tapped into where I'm at, and I haven't been very playful. I haven't been, doing the things that are needed to fill up my own cup, energetically, even spiritually, probably. Um, and needing that play in my life, right? Needing to get back out there and do things. I've been very restricted in my own personal space, staying at home a lot more often, being very cautious on, where I go and all that stuff, just because of my own recognition of fear towards this itch, right? So, which is what we're going to call that for right now. Um, so one of the things that I thought about doing was to incorporate play into my life is to start looking at doing more outdoor activities, soaking up some of that vitamin D, when it's permitted, of course. And so I went and got hiking boots.
Yay.
I know, and that in itself, just the adventure of finding the hiking boots was like a fun little treat for myself. I was like, okay, I'm let's Steven and I, we're gonna go to REI and we're gonna see what we can try on and test this little thing out, and what works for me. And I made that a fun activity for him and I to go do, even though it's something as simple as just going to a store and picking out boots. Some people might find that as a daunting task. Well, I found it as like an adventure, to do something like that, because I know the end game of that is to be outdoors and be able to go and do those types of activities. So things like that can be incorporated as something to be playful for.
Being playful as a mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Um, I also I got these cards. They're called, oh, what is it called? It's on Love Lingual cards, and you can do like past and future, couple,
Mm.
family, uh, individual, and oh, and then there's one for sex and intimacy. So you can just shuffle the deck and you take turns and you answer the questions on the cards, and you are not only being playful in that mindset, and I think they're like $20, but like you can also then start to really learn about one another. So I just think that's really cool.
And those are called love lingual cards.
Yeah, I believe it's called Love Lingual. I'll look it up and we'll link it below.
Perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
So, some other ways that we can incorporate play. So, if you have a child in your life, being open to playing with the child and allowing them to structure the play. So, giving them the creative imagination, allowing them to kind of take the lead and you follow and you can create with them rather than creating rules for them. Playing with dogs or your animals, doing arts and crafts, right? You don't have to be an artist, but drawing, coloring, finger painting is one of my favorites. Doing like a dancing, singing. It doesn't matter if you're good at it. It feels good to move that energy around and let it out. So getting physical with it can be a even even stronger supporter of putting yourself in that higher vibrational state, that positive state, that of laughter, of joy, that comes along with play. Trying a new activity like hiking, like you said, like getting outdoors, finding a new spot to go explore, traveling, create an adventure around it. What's that? Geocaching.
Oh, nice.
uh just like looking for stuff in nature. Like you could create like a treasure hunt, and it could be like see a dragonfly, or see a
Yeah.
flower floating in the water, like, and just go outdoors and connect with nature and make it fun.
Yeah.
um Board games, hosting a game night with friends. You may not want to play the intimate cards with your friends,
Might
but
want to take those out. Yeah. That'd be
but
awkward.
like playing Cards Against Humanity. Another one that we play with our friends is Cash Flow.
Oh, that
um
one's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we do it virtually. So we've got a little app that we all play together online, and one person will have the board in front of them and roll the dice for people, and we have fun and chat, and socializing is a huge aspect of play. So actually, I heard something on NPR recently that was talking about Alzheimer's and dementia, so our cognitive function, and how it when we play when we play games, we can delay some of that cognitive dysfunction that occurs over time. But adding the social aspect to it actually improves it, even like more so. And I don't have statistics on it. I just remember, them talking about how socializing during game time actually improves your brain function and brain activity. So
That's
it,
awesome.
it's like we've got several positive factors. We've got our physical factor, getting things moving. You know, the more we move, like the more the energy moves, the less we feel stagnant. So moving our physical body, moving our energetic body. So the singing, the releasing, the laughing, then the connection of our souls. So outside of ourselves to our friends and family.
Yeah.
Eh,
And it connects with your inner child too, which can
mhm.
provide healing for that aspect of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that, you know, finding ways to incorporate play, even as adults, especially as adults, becomes more and more important as we continue throughout our life, because we have so many things that fight us for our time and, energy and focus, that this, I think, is can be viewed as a self-care activity.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, good topic today.
Yeah, yeah. So
Making me
Shira,
want
what
to
are
get out.
you I was gonna say, what are you gonna do and play today?
I am going to break in those new hiking boots. I'm so excited. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm really big into fashion too, and they're for safety. I'm fully aware of that. But they're freaking cute, and they've got this little speck of blue, and I clearly, if you're watching this on YouTube, I love blue. So I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to put them on. And then you wear the like hiking socks with it and you scrunch them down. And I love that. So kind of reminds me a little bit of the 80s of the leg warmers. It's a little hot for those right now, but again, it's for safety and for keeping your feet nice and dry. And Steven and I are gonna do some hiking today. We're gonna go find some new spots, and we're gonna continue to
Yay.
find new spots to go to and break these in. So
I love that. That's
I know.
awesome.
I know. It's been way too long since I've decided to get outdoors and just go freaking play. So that's been on my main mission and the whole purpose behind me doing that. So I encourage others to do the same.
Yay. Find something that resonates with you. And shoot, like play is just creating, right? It's imagination. So like even trying a new recipe. Like I know for you maybe not, but like
my non-cooking skills. Steven loves to do that. He's always doing. He was telling me the other day that just decorating the plate with little garnishes is playful for him, and he loves to do that. And I'm like, oh, that's not even remotely in my realm of playful, but that's amazing that it's for you. I thoroughly appreciate it.
Oh, if you guys have any ways that you enjoy implementing play into your life, we would love to hear about them. Give us some new ideas. Encourage us to play in different ways. Share. That's why we're here, is to share our experiences and to encourage each other and our own growth, and just know that you guys are loved immensely and infinitely.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And this was a great conversation and a great topic and so encouraging. And, again, get out there, be playful, do your thing. Love you.
You never really have to grow up. No. We're just looking for growth, period.
Bring out that inner, bring out that child. Bring out that inner child. Go be silly. Do your thing. No.
Let him, her, they play. Come on.
Remove the fear of what other people think.
Yes. Let go of the judgment. There's no space for judgment with play. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful day. And remember, love first,
love last,
and love always.
Bye.
Hey, listener, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us in this moment. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we look forward to it.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow to stay notified of new content from Love Always Self. If you have any questions or topics you'd like for us to discuss, please hit us up on any of our social media platforms linked in the show notes below.
I'm Karista.
And I'm Shira.
And until next time, remember to love first,
love last,
and love always. Love Always Self podcast is meant for entertainment purposes only. We do not make any warranties about the completeness, reliability, and accuracy of the information presented in this podcast. Any action you choose to take upon the information in this podcast is strictly done so at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses and damages in connection with the use of our podcast. Any and all medical concerns should be addressed with a licensed healthcare provider, as well as any questions that may be derived from the information discussed in this podcast.